Today, we travel on the Virgin Voyages Valiant Lady ship. I bring a friend with me that vowed to never go on a cruise again. Would the second time be a charm? Stay tuned.
This is fucking crazy.
I received a message recently I thought I would never get. The message came from my friend of 25 years, BJ. Over the years, we've gone through a lot of things together. We have vacationed together on many occasions. But there's one thing he's never been willing to do. Isn't this water incredible? And that's go on a cruise. He did go on a cruise years ago and really disliked the experience due to the amount of kids on the ship. His life, though, recently changed when he became a father for the first time and he was seeking a small break. I've been singing the praises of Virgin Voyages over the last year to him. He was the target audience that Virgin was originally created for.
The older person who doesn't give a fuck.
People that don't typically like to cruise, and people that want a vacation in a kid-free environment. If you're new to Virgin, I've done other videos where I go into more details and tips on how to make the most of your voyage. Since this is a rare opportunity to test out the line with a friend that's been reluctant to cruise, this video will follow how we spent our time on board to see if the magic behind Virgin Voyages would win my friend over. I asked BJ to be as honest as he could with his experience on the cruise. I'll also cover a few changes at Virgin since my last video. Let's go. We took an Uber from my favorite hotel near the port, the W Miami, to the ship on embarkation day. I added a link to the review of this property in the description below. We timed it to arrive as close to 1:30 p.m. as possible, as that is the earliest port arrival time you can book during the check-in process in the app. Minimize the stress of embarkation day by having your cabin number memorized or readily available. Don't wait until you get to the port to try to open up the app to get it. I can't tell you how many times I've had a problem opening it up near this ship. And the porters will get restless if they have to wait for it. Since there's no luggage tags at Virgin, they will ask for your cabin number and tag your luggage for delivery to the cabin. While tipping is included with your fare at Virgin, these workers don't work for Virgin, so make sure you tip them. Anywhere from $1 to $5 per bag is what I like to tip. If you show up too early, you will have to wait in these lines, and in the Miami heat, that's never fun. If you have status with another cruise line, make sure to do a status match with Virgin. The application is online on their website, and status match is currently open until the end of 2024. The top status with Virgin is called Deep Blue Extras and includes early boarding before the general public.
This is the easiest check-in I've seen so far. There's like nobody here.
For $275, you can buy the Splash of Romance package. This upgrade includes a few things, including priority boarding. The amount of packages they sell per voyage is small and usually sells out pretty quick.
Cabin upgrades available. What does that mean? Thinks we can get a nicer cabin if you want one.
It would be $2,450, and the gorgeous suite would be $4,500.
We were quoted $4,500 at check-in to upgrade to a gorgeous suite. If we would have placed a bid for an upgrade in the email Virgin sends before your sailing, we could have had the same suite for $2,725. Since neither of us drink, spending that much money on a suite didn't make sense.
You stuck here? I mean, they're a lot worth saving. I'm not gonna lie about that.
If you haven't booked your dinners in advance, once you get to this area, start trying to connect to the ship's Wi-Fi and make it a priority to reserve all your dinner reservations before you even board the ship. So at this lobby, this is where you should first have access to the Wi-Fi. Search the Wi-Fi. Make sure you're not connecting to the port Wi-Fi, but actually the ship Wi-Fi. It should look something like this. Virgin recently made a huge change to the onboard experience by eliminating the need to book most shows and making them first come, first serve. It has greatly reduced the anxiety of trying to book things when you board. I will share my thoughts later on the optimal strategy to book dinners.
Let's sit down. Let's sit down so I can get our schedule set up real quickly. So we're gonna start off at the galley to have our lunch. Since we just boarded, our schedule is set for the cruise.
We made our way up to the galley for lunch on the 15th floor, where we placed our order with the first Virgin crew member we met on this sailing, Imogen. I like to take pictures of their name tags if they go above and beyond, so I can add them to the post-survey email the Virgin sends. I forgot I had taken her picture already, so I took a second one later on.
Right, so I usually go overboard with the sweets when we first get into the ship, but this time I'm only doing 2. The s'mores is pretty good, and this is like the chocolate bar.
BJ introduced me to one dessert I've never tried before.
What is this?
Delicious. It's heaven. Coconut in something
I've
heaven.
never had this one before. Really good.
Coconut heaven.
So it's 2:42. We're gonna see if our luggage is in our cabin. Our cabin is 9326 Alpha. It's extra large Sea Terrace.
9326 is me. I have to double push mine on this rug. It's too heavy.
Oh man, I like the wheel. Still stuck. We are at 9326.
Nice. Shower, commode.
So there's storage over here, and we can ask the cabin attendant to make these into 2 twins. So one bed will be like this.
This is the money right here. Oops. With a hammock. We're right here by the emergency vessels too. This Titanic sinks were good.
So the bathroom is what we're paying extra for. You want to go look at it?
What do they normally look? I don't have context.
So normally it's like literally like to here, and you have, so it's like right here, and then you have a toilet sitting right there. You have the sink, a little shower, all in this little area. And so the counter space, you only literally have like this much counter space. Mm-hmm. So here you have 2 counters. There's privacy for the bathroom, and then
a big shower.
The shower is a lot bigger.
Emergency, we have to jump overboard.
The laundry bag, so we can literally fill that up, and they'll do our laundry for free.
I could have brought like half the clothing. This is cute. Super cute.
They will fill the water with sparkling water or regular water. You just have to ask them. So it's just the mascot is octopus.
$12 for this rubber toy.
Mm-hmm. When this cruise line first launched, they had sex toys.
Really?
And people were not happy about it. And so,
really?
Yes. They've toned it down a lot.
Who owns this?
Oh,
Richard Branson. That's what I was looking
Virgin
for.
Records and stuff. I've done multiple videos where I cover the cabin in full, but each time I sail, I learn new tricks to make my sailings go better. Here's a few more. So I buy a surgeless strip connect, so I have multiple outlets, and I collect my phone, and then I have these fans that cost $10. So right now we have 2 over here, then 1 over there. They will make a big difference with air circulation throughout the cruise. They're pretty strong too. So I like to travel with this little hamper. Just put it in the corner of the room and keep the dirty clothes separated. And you can get like 2 of these for like $5 on Amazon. Keep the dirty clothes separate. I find the beds on Virgin to be really firm. You can ask the cabin attendant for extra padding, and it makes a big difference. You can also ask them to change the configurations of the beds. Attendant made the beds into twins. We watched the muster drill safety video from our cabin. Season what? Then kill some time at one of my favorite spots to chill on the ship, the dock on deck 7. The sail away party is from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. and we made it in time to catch the hostess make introductions of the happening cast.
His suit and tie and some tricks up his sleeve. He's bringing the magic aboard. It's Brandon the Charmer,
as well as the ever popular diva of the ship.
and introducing the only lady on board that wears more lipstick than me. It's Caricature the Diva. Let us all raise a glass to the friends that we will soon discover, to the treasures yet to uncover. May your journey be filled with excitement and fun, and may your voyage with Virgin be an unforgettable one. To the Valiant Lady!
The sail away is a lot of fun, especially if you have nice weather like we did on this day. It's easy to get sucked into the sail away party, but we decided to say goodbye and head down to where the views are even better. If you have a sea terrace, you have an amazing view of the port of Miami on the way out. I like to book the first night's dinner at 8 p.m. so we can enjoy the sail away and have time to prep for dinner. But before I go to dinner, I like to go to the spa on the ship. I'm at the spa right before first dinner. I did the all access for 5 days. It was $258. There's usually nobody here as we're currently in the middle of sail away, but I do like to do a cold plunge for dinner. There's nobody here. Best time to use a spa. On this sailing, we had a total of $1,050 to spend on board, $750 in sailor loot, and a $300 bar tab. Sailor loot can be used on anything on board, including spa services, excursions, shopping, and drinks. Since the bar tab is strictly for drinks, use the bar tab for all drink purchases first until it is exhausted. After the bar tab is used up, any additional drinks can be covered by the sailor loot. If you've never sailed on Virgin before, then you can get sailor loot to spend on board by working with a travel advisor like myself. Our first dinner was at Pink Agave. Are you hungry? Very. We stopped at Sailor Services so I could authorize BJ to buy from the bar tab that was under my name. If you don't do this, then drinks get charged to the person buying. Unlike other cruise lines, where the main dining room tables are spaced out giving you more privacy, seating at most restaurants on Virgin is closed together, which encourages conversation with fellow sailors.
She and my husband used to sit next to each other. He used to torment her. Wait.
The recommendation for Pink Agave is to have your server bring you one of each appetizers, since they are small and made for sharing. Don't miss out on the steak. This is often discussed as one of the best dishes at Virgin.
And then you can try more.
Good?
If you order
Very good.
Coffee with chocolate tacos and bread pudding to finish our meal.
Quick thoughts on Pink Agave. Quick thoughts.
Selfie in here. Amazing. The restaurant. That's what we're talking about. Amazing. Very good.
What was your favorite?
The steak and the potatoes with chorizo.
Good evening, everybody!
The Misbehave Show is one of the newer shows on Valiant Lady. This was my first time seeing it, and I had no idea what was going on.
Now, at this point in the game, I can see quite a lot of confusion in the room, especially this man. Are you the one?
This show is a riot. It's basically an interactive game show. It doesn't take itself or anyone else seriously. The host of the show commands great attention over the crowd and has great chemistry with her super talented sidekick.
How do you like that show?
Amazing. It was good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
On the first night of each sailing is the popular Pajama Party. We went over to scope out the situation. Unpopular opinion, but I find this party to be really boring when it's held outside. Most people just sit around and there's no open space to move around.
Pajamas for the PJ party.
The only time I ever made it to the party was when the weather took it inside, and while it was crowded, it was a lot more fun. So we decided to skip the Pajama Party and call it a night. I had a quiet solo breakfast at Razzle Dazzle to start the day. Then made it to the spa for a quick dip. If you have too much sailor loot and want to turn some of it into cash, there's one way to do that, but it's a luck of the draw.
Just left the spa. I have tons of sailor loot, so I'm going to go to the cage in the casino and get some to play some slots. You have to kind of play through the sailor loot, and then whatever you have left over, you can use or you can keep. Here we go.
Touch the fish to win.
So from my sailor loot, this is how much I was able to cash out for $200.
I met up with BJ afterwards at Bingo with the Diva. This show is super popular and they stop selling tickets 15 minutes before showtime. Show up early if you want to play. This is the seating situation at 40 minutes before it even starts. And if you want to win, make sure you follow the Diva's rules.
When you're one number away, you need to stand up out of your seat, stay standing, and scream, Cara, I'm close. Try it? Yeah!
Unfortunately, we never got close to winning the top prize of over $3,000. On the way to the galley, we stopped by the pool, and like many others, BJ was not a fan of the lack of pools on the ship. For lunch, we grabbed some sushi and, surprise, more coconut dreams. We headed back to the cabin to relax before our dinner. I saw this recently, and it reminds me of what dinner at Gunbae is like. Actually, I'm just kidding. Dinner at Gunbae is one of the biggest crapshoots during a sailing. Unless you're going with a group of friends, you will be forced to sit with strangers. For this reason, I like to book this on the second night of the sailing. I think it's a great opportunity to make some connections early on. I think people are more relaxed by the second day, and as an introvert, I usually have very little left in the social tank to want to talk to strangers towards the end of a cruise. I've had some great memorable dinners. This one, well...
So I have 2 kids.
Oh my gosh!
That's like one of my morons?
That's great.
That's the other moron.
We were seated with someone that was not only pretty intoxicated, but was completely nasty and rude to our server, making fun of her accent. At first, we couldn't make sense of what was happening.
How's dinner so far?
Yeah.
How's dinner?
Thank you so much. This is fucking crazy.
Our waitress eventually left the table, and we had another one take over.
Are you a
We
yellow?
have a second waitress now, don't we?
We do.
What happened to the first one?
I think she quit.
The silver lining is that we were able to connect with others at the table, not knowing we would be spending more time on the sailing with them, building a special bond.
In front of that, you won't be able to see us.
After the dinner, we went back and apologized to our server.
So our first waitress quit, and the second one quit and left us without dessert. How was dinner?
Well, and then we were by this. Holy shit. That was a train wreck. I'll tell you, a train wreck of all train wrecks. Like the biggest train wreck I've ever seen.
It was interesting though. It was fun.
Yeah,
It was interesting.
something like that.
We finished dinner just in time to catch one of the most popular shows on Virgin, Dual Reality. We found out that the cast frequently changes because of the high number of injuries. Fortunately, without a reservation system in place for shows, we easily got seats for the show.
I like the show.
A few weeks before our departure, our port was changed from Puerto Plata to Grand Turk, which I see as a significant upgrade. Turks and Caicos holds a special place in my heart since it's where I proposed to Joel in July of 2018.
Let's do it now.
I also had the pleasure of meeting some new friends that have watched some of my other Virgin videos, which is always a delightful surprise.
I'm sure it's pretty quiet out here.
The beach was incredibly peaceful, with the Valiant Lady being the only ship docked that day, making for a serene and memorable visit. I think the beach is the highlight of this port and worth saving money by skipping excursions here. Finally, it was time for the most magical night at sea, Scarlet Night, where the ship turns red and there's excitement in the air. The party officially starts at 9 p.m. with pop-up entertainment throughout the ship. BJ caught the attention of Miss Behave herself.
I was sorry.
Take me! Take me!
You want to we're going for another little time? Do you want to come with us?
And we were whisked away to the little corner of the ship for a little message followed by a toast. which they were kind enough to get us non-alcoholic drinks so we could partake in the celebration.
Everybody's welcome.
To transformation.
Transformation.
Yes. If the goddess of the sea did not transform herself into an octopus, we wouldn't have this night to celebrate. May all of your personal transformations throughout life be as comfortable as possible. To transformation.
Make sure you don't miss the highlight of Scarlet Night, the pool party, which starts at 10:30 p.m. and ends exactly at midnight. This party had a special visit from Santa Claus himself, a fierce entrance by the hostess as she kicks off the party with the Scarlet Night theme song. A quick review of my strategy to booking dinners for our cruise. I like to book 8 p.m. on the first night so we don't miss out on sail away. I like to book Gunbae on the second night as it's a great opportunity to meet people when you're sailing early on. And my third tip is to book Test Kitchen on the same night as the ship show. The ship show is one of the few shows that still requires reservations. Book them on the same night since it's common for people not to like some of the food at Test Kitchen and you might still be hungry. The ship show does have a small limited menu. The show features a host with a backing band.
I am your host of It's a Ship Show. My name is Steven Stamps, and I come to you all the way from Savannah, Georgia.
And a talented cast of performers from all over the world as you enjoy your 4-course meal. We usually see new acts on every sailing we go on. After the show, we had dinner at Test Kitchen where we got to experience some of the magic that makes Virgin different.
The way that they allow the crew to live like normal human beings. In other cruise lines, those people who work there tend to be very separated from us, and they're not allowed to have a lot of communication or have a personality really, except for the very few moments that you're in their environment. And the cast and crew here are allowed to like live like humans. They're allowed to come out in their normal gear on their time off and wear their little badge and go to dinner at our restaurants. And I just love that they get to be human and be themselves.
And hang out with us.
For dinner at Test Kitchen, we had the privilege of being joined by TJ from the Misbehaved show, whom we had met during Scarlet Night and kept in touch throughout the cruise. Test Kitchen offers 2 distinct menus. If you dine there during the first half of your voyage, you'll experience the mushroom menu. On our night, the corn menu was served. Sharing a meal with the crew is always a unique experience, as I find it fascinating to hear their stories about life on a ship. Thank you, TJ, for making our cruise truly special. The Bimini Beach Club in the Bahamas is a staple on most of the cruise line's Caribbean sailings. Complimentary open-air tram takes cruisers from the end of the pier to key stops on Bimini. The facility is technically owned by Resorts World Bimini, but it was designed by Virgin Voyages. The first stop is the Fisherman's Village Marina, where you can rent a golf cart if you want to explore the island.
So this is the latest I've ever gotten to the beach club, and it's 12:15, so the party officially starts at 1, and I don't see any seating available as of now.
I didn't record any of the beach club party as I was wanting to enjoy my last day on the cruise, but I was able to finally do something with this hat. I bought it for Scarlet Night a while back and brought it with me on multiple sailings, but I've never wore it. I was able to find someone special to give it to. So many talented ladies have done that number, and it's always a blast. And this wraps up this video. Final verdict, BJ loved the sailing. Other than his pleasure with the pool situation, he said he would want to sail on Virgin again, and he said the cruise is set up to be best enjoyed with a group of friends. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you're sailing on Virgin soon, I hope you have a blast. If you like this type of content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'll leave you with the full performance of the Scarlet Night theme. And as always, thanks for watching.
I wanted me, the moonlight, you started chain reaction. Struck by someone and you're giving me life like you're ready, breathing down the line. Tonight, run away, to the sky.
Let's get to work. Hey. Savor, if you're ready to turn all the way up, make some noise!